World War III has already begun. How the history books describe the beginning will depend on how it ends. How it ends will be determined by how the public reacts, the shockwaves to come. This cannot be predicted, but it can be influenced.
We cannot allow Vladimir Putin to succeed here.
Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you tuning into all your Illuminati news. Now, a couple of days ago, on the Pluto return on 2222, Biden came out, and I was in California, and I was like, yo, this fool gonna come out at exactly 222. And he came out exactly 222 on 22222. They declared war on February 23rd. 223, which has the 322 in it. The same numerology as Bitcoin, 223. We see this 322 popping up everywhere. As what happened? The global, let's all come together at home. The whole world, let's unite and fight this together. And I'm looking at everyone like, okay, it's such egotistical propaganda and virtue signaling that happened the last 2 years of people who hate themselves. If you look around during the last 2 years, I've just became very pessimistic on society and its discontents. People have such a self-hatred for themselves, and you can't love. What's the opposite of war? It's love. So let's talk a little bit about love. And love is the most manipulative word ever. All these people who say they care about the environment, they don't care about their inner environment, because you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. And during the lockdown, people had to be with themselves. So we saw domestic violence rise. We saw divorce rise. We saw alcohol and drug abuse rise. It's called autophobia. You gotta learn about it. It's the fear of being with oneself. If you think staying at home was terrible, wait till the cyber pandemic starts happening.
A lack of cybersecurity, immediate danger to our society worldwide.
The next great pandemic will be the cyber pandemic. And your cell phone ain't working. People are gonna go insane. There's this new study out right now. 6 in 10 couldn't cope without their smartphone for a day. 1 in 8 suffer anxiety from low battery. The virtual signaling is we're in this together, the global governments, and now we're at war. And people are glued to their television screens. Just like during 9/11. 9/11, everyone was glued to their television screen. Lockdown, glued to their television screens. The news programs everybody's simulation that they live in. People live in altered realities right now. There's some people who live in a totally different altered reality of what's going on, depending on the TV programming that you are watching that's programming you. They usually work together. So if you're watching the leftist media, the rightist media, doesn't matter what, the social media, the celebrity media, they're all going to tell you the exact same thing. This is why they use the same words, the same hypnotic words, because it's a global control mechanism for the simulation. Yesterday, when they declared war, was on the 322 date, 223. Biden came out at exactly 222 on 22222 to talk about it. And then the big push was 48 hours until war. All the news agency, 48 hours until war is just like the television show 48 hours, because what you're watching is a television show.
Saddam Hussein and his sons must leave Iraq within 48 hours.
Any American in Ukraine should leave as soon as possible, and in any event, in the next 24 to 48 hours.
At least planning for something that could take place as early as in the next 48 hours.
And other nations within 48 hours on the border troop buildup.
The U.S. is warning all Americans in Ukraine to leave in the next 24 to 48 hours.
And these television shows have mass effect on the consciousness of the people. Just look at the CSI effect. More women became crime scene investigators because of the show CSI. Television shows, reality TV shows. Even the president was a reality TV show star Jack Dorsey, who has this AI algorithm that can predict civil unrest, it can predict a lot more stuff than that. Their algorithms can predict what's going to happen next. And that's no coincidence that he stepped down right before this happened. Just like in 2019, they had the most CEOs on record departure and stepped down right before the lockdowns happened, as if they knew what was going to happen, because they got AI robots to tell them what to do. So the news headlines that we're seeing today go much, much deeper than you think. This economic collapse in World War III is all about the Great Reset. This is why the HR bill that was passed during the lockdowns was all about introducing a digital currency. The Economist magazine that predicts everything to a T predicted the one world currency. Now the CBDCs are being released, and I talked about the BRICS nation. Russia and China have been working on destroying Babylon, America. The digital yuan was released, and now China is saying Taiwan is pretty much Ukraine, and what we're seeing in Ukraine is going to happen with Taiwan. This is why we got the chip shortages and whatnot. This is why at the football game it was the Tigers versus the Rams, so you got all the West Coast music, the West versus the East. On the Economist magazine, you got the West versus the East. You got China on there. The China war will be fought in the Middle East, in the Gulf of Oman. Stock market, crypto market, all these investment markets, gold, oil prices, all this stuff is all manipulated. Right before this all happened, Cathie Woods sold a ton of Palantir stock, and Palantir started crashing. But Palantir is Gotham, where they do global decision making through an AI algorithm for the military. So I believe that this is also manipulated as well. Palantir bought $51 million worth of gold for a Black Swan event in that 5-1 Illuminati number, just like Elon Musk launched the 5-1 satellites up into space. And now they're saying cyber attacks on satellites are going to be happening. Elon Musk is partying with Kanye West and Marilyn Manson at the Donda 2 party with other Illuminati celebrities. I was just in California, and I was looking at the library, and they got some Illuminati symbolism on that library. They got the capstone Illuminati torchbearer. There's all those buildings in California look straight Tartarian. They look like they're straight out of Tartaria. But we just passed this 222, and the 22 is a very, very symbolic number, as there's 22 letters in the original Hebrew alphabet. Our skull, we hear about the 322 skull and bones. Well, our skull has 22 bones in it. And in numerology, it's the master builder number, 22. During the football game, the score with the 322 in it, 20 to 23, think about that date, 223. The Super Bowl foreshadowing this date, 223, yesterday when this war kicked off. As Elon Musk is saying that the recession would happen in the spring equinox or the summer solstice. And on 222, false reports came out that she died. Hollywood Unlocked blog appears to apologize for false reporting on Queen's death. Then they say, no, we stand by the story. So who knows what's really going on? She got sick on February 20th, which is the 51st day of the year, the 5-1 Illuminati number. Mayday distress call, and they got crazy weapons now. They got thermobaric rocket launchers, which will melt you. And shout out to Trap House Kitchen, who did a review on my video. They got a pretty big audience, over 100,000 subscribers. And in the video, I learned something new in their video, that the Drake Illuminati Bohemian Grove owl, his name of his brand, I mean, we see Justin Bieber with this owl and all that, is OVO, and you can see it in the owl's face, OVO. I mean, we got all these symbols hidden in plain sight, just like Jeff Bezos' Amazon is a smiley face, or is it a phallic, as his rocket ship as well as a phallic. Their commercial during their football game in 2019, not everything makes the cut. We can see the cyber attack happening. As we are in the Shemitah year, and this stuff always happens during the Shemitah, and we're in the Water Tiger year as well, where the Cuban Missile Crisis happened during the Water Tiger year. So we're going to keep an eye out on everything, and we're going to keep an eye out on these elites. But I think the popping off place for this world war, we're going to hear a lot of stuff happening in Venezuela. as well, as Venezuela is a proxy and it's on the border of the U.S., and this whole thing is going to be fought not in China or the U.S., but it'll be fought in the Gulf of Oman. Here's the Illuminati 666, 2022. Here we go. Anyway, it's Donut. Hit that like and subscribe button, and God bless you.